Hi folks, how you doing? Some people ask me to make a video on SoFi technologies stock prices. So I'm making this video using financial analysis and technical analysis to make an assessment on the future stock prices. So I got this data, all this financial data from all of these sources I put together in this table, starting with the revenue, previous quarter versus the latest quarter. See the trend? This trend is up. In the latest quarter, we had 645.2 million. Oh, this is a good sign. Revenue is going up. The net income is all negative in the previous quarters. Now, for the first time, we got the positive net income. Same with the profit margin was negative the previous quarter. In the latest quarter, positive for the first time. Same story with the operating margin percentage and EBITDA, which is earning before interest, taxes, and depreciation, was also negative in previous quarter. Yeah, but some quarter was positive. But see, versus previous quarter, we are positive in Q4. P ratio, I'm going to talk more on P ratio in a little bit, but just to give you some overview, for the first time, we have positive P ratio, which I call it forward P ratio. Free cash flow per share was negative in previous quarter. For the first time, we are positive. Debt to equity ratio, I didn't get the data in the latest quarter, so I put zero there. But overall, the debt to equity ratio is not very healthy for SoFi Technologies. But I hope they can work more on the future to reduce it. But overall, debt to equity ratio, not gonna worry too much about it because this is not gonna impact too much on the stock prices. Now let's talk about EPS. EPS data, starting with the latest quarter, we had the projected EPS 0 and we got actual 0.02. That's a positive surprise. And the previous quarter, we had the EPS negative, projected as well as actual. But the good thing is, this quarter, the latest quarter, we got the EPS positive. The formula doesn't work because you cannot calculate the percentage if you have a zero denominator. But looking at that, SoFi Technologies was able to beat the earning expectation for Q4 as well. Next few quarters, all the EPS for next few quarters is positive. That's also a good sign. Talking with the P ratio, I put together all the P ratio for last few days and also before the earning release. They released the earning on January the 29th. So we have EPS forward, that is this quarter, plus the future quarters, and the EPS trailing 12 months, which is this quarter and the previous quarters. And I have the yesterday's closing prices, P ratio based on the TTM, trailing 12 months, P ratio based on the forward. In the forward P ratio, you can notice that continue to go up, down, up. Right now it's 135.5. But looking at the P ratio after the earning release is all positive. But P ratio at this point does not tell much about the future stock prices. We have to dig into more into technical charts. But overall, P ratio is not too high. So I see that there is some room for SoFi Technologies to go up because the future, the future projection of EPS is all positive. So it's a good sign. So this tells me that in the future there are more chances of the stock prices to go up and also the P ratio. Let's move on to the technical charts, starting with the 1 year, 1 day chart. That's a long-term chart. In the last 1 year, the highest point was 11.45 and the lowest point was 4.76. Right now it's 8.13. I also have drawn the Bollinger Bands and also RSI. So looking at the Bollinger Bands, so right now the stock is not touching the upper band or the lower band, it's kind of in the middle, so there is some room for the stock to go up. Looking at the RSI, it's 50, it's neither oversold nor overbought, so it can go in either direction. But one thing you can notice, SoFi Technologies had the highest point 11.45. Right now it's 8.13. All the financials are positive and also EPS is positive. So this tells there is some room for SoFi Technologies to go up in the coming future. Now let's talk about the short-term chart. See in your screen, this is a short-term 10-day, 30 minutes chart. I have the Bollinger Bands and also the RSI. The highest point in last 10 days was 9.39 and the lowest point was 7.49. Right now it's 8.14, not touching the upper band and also not touching the lower bands. It's kind of in the middle, so it can go in either direction. RSI is 52, same story, neither oversold nor overbought, so stock can move in either direction. But you can notice that in last 10 days, the highest point was 9.39. Still, there's some room for stock to go up. So this was a quick summary using financials, data, and the technical chart. Overall, if I summarize, the financials going in the right direction, EPS, the latest EPS was positive, and future projection is also positive and trending up. Looking at the technical, there is some room for the stock to go up. So in the future, using both financial and technical chart, this stock has some potential to go up. So that's all about SoFi Technologies. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do that. Talk to you more next week.